things suddenly start to change.
Timo Scheider wins his first ever DTM race.
Pressure was growing, and of course the tension in between internally was growing.
And Timo Scheider makes a magnificent start. And Timo Scheider goes down the inside.
I was basically fighting till the very last race of the season. It turned out and it was the biggest success of my entire career.
And that's for the net lead of the race. There's about 2 inches between them. Brilliant stuff. What a battle this has been.
Well, hi, my name is Timo Scheider. I'm 47 years old and a professional race driver since many years already, since '97 professional race driver. And since then I have been running from the classic way, from karting throughout junior Formula categories through Formula 3 up to DTM, and by now have made also more experience in off-road racing. I have 2 kids, family, and living in Austria. Well, my epic racing story for sure is the biggest and highest success I've had. That was the 2008 winning DTM title after being in DTM already since 2000 with a different brand, with Opel back in the days, and then I made the move to Audi, and then in the year 2008 when I got into the actual and newest version of the DTM Audi, things suddenly start to change, and I was performing suddenly in a way which I haven't seen before so far. Meant like I went off the season in 2008 with 4 pole positions in a row to start off the season.
Yes, but first pole of the year went to Timo Scheider, a time of 1:32.955. Let's see how he put in this very quick lap. The man who has won the Nürburgring 24 hours, he has won the Spa 24 hours, and there his pole position lap, 1:21.146. Look how much quicker they are. Scheider 1:43.079. Absolutely stunning time.
Suddenly this brought me in a situation internally with Audi that suddenly the focus was on me. Before, I was the new kid on the block as the Audi driver coming there in 2006, and the situation was like all the focus was on Matthias Ekström. Back in the days, he was a 2-time champion. There was this Red Bull backing and kind of a political pressure from the Audi side, and focus there on Matthias. And also a little bit on Tom Christensen, the famous Le Mans winner. And yeah, but then I was there and pulling off the quality performance and suddenly leading the championship. In the beginning, there was still, I would say, like just a positive vibe. And it was just cool, and I felt beside that still, even though I was performing well, that the focus was still more on Matthias Ekström, because he was always there, but he was behind in the championship. But I felt that at a certain point, I felt it especially on strategy decisions made by the manufacturer, that suddenly I didn't have the perfect strategy call while we are racing. And then I was like analyzing after one or the other race. I said, guys, this could have been way better if we would have done this and that. And I realized they prioritized Matthias. So then I started to think, what is this meaning for me? What is the idea behind that? Because I was leading, I was expecting more support, let's call it. And then I realized there was a big pressure from not just from Audi behind this system to get Matthias in front. There was also this big partner, this energy drink called Red Bull, behind, making pressure to Audi and to the team, to Up Sportsline, telling them, guys, if this is going to happen, that Scheider is going to be champion and not Matthias, we probably pull off the sponsor deal. It was actually 2 cars. It was the Matthias Ekström and Martin Tomczyk car. Both cars had been covered in fully Red Bull brand, and I was just this internal partners. It was Audi Top Service back in the days, and the rest was financed by Audi. So I was the internal boy, let's call it, and the other one was sponsored from external. So the pressure they had, I felt and I saw, analyzing data, analyzing the races, and that made my life actually pretty tricky throughout the season. But in the end, I had just to see one thing, to focus on myself and to make the best out of it. We had a situation that also there was the idea to have Matthias and myself in one pit, in one box, but Matthias actually denied to be in the box with me, to not share any data, and not to see anything. But of course there was the idea, and there is still the idea, when you have such a big team and lineup, you share data after free practice, and you try to analyze who did what and what is maybe helping me or not helping anyone. So this is a standard and given thing we always have had to do as Audi drivers back in the days. But at a certain point, when engineering teams shared data, we also came to the point that we suddenly realized that the shared data and the data for Matthias' car was just a pure lie, just to not show the data to me. Pressure was growing, and of course the tension in between internally was growing. Nobody knew outside, but internally we had some proper fight, not fights, but you start to analyze and to realize that it's not always straightforward and honest, everything you are talking internally here. So you had to focus more and more on yourself, and that led everything to the point that I was basically fighting till the very last race of the season to defend myself internally, not to get the support. And in the end, it turned out and it was the biggest success of my entire career. And the epic spicy situation in the season was actually that we could have won already the championship on the second to last event, but we had let's say we went to Le Mans. It was the second to last race there, and due to the experience Audi had in Le Mans, due to the 24-hour races, they had this local weather station, and guys, professionals, highly paid to analyze weather situation at what minute weather is changing, temperatures or rain is maybe coming. So I remember I started P5 and took the lead right away in the race.
The lights are out, it's go! And, well, a slow start from Tom Christensen, and Timo Scheider certainly on a very strong run. Look at Timo Scheider, goes down the inside, and Scheider is absolutely on fire. This is huge, and Scheider goes into the lead from row 3 of the grid. Absolutely sensational.
And then we've been like in a good lead, but then they just believed in the weather forecast guys, and called me in for a tire change, which was just the worst moment you could actually call me. So I went in, took the wrong shot tires, and lost the lead and dropped back to whatever, P15, 14, whatever. Had to come back in again to change back tires because the weather they expected didn't come. So I had, unfortunately, situation, instead of winning one event before the final, the championship, I had to go to the final event in Hockenheim with I think it was 3 points of a gap or something. So basically I had, back in the days, we just had for the victories, it was 10 points, 8 points for second and 6 points third. So it was a very tiny and small gap in between of us. That was a lot of pressure coming to the final event in Hockenheim. And you can imagine that was the first time for me, home crowd. It was completely packed, 180,000 people. This was it's very special because people suddenly start to advise what to do. People come around, fans clap your shoulder and telling you, you need to do this and that, and yes, you will do it. And some others good luck, I think Gary is stronger, whatever. There was so many inputs coming around. The good thing is the pressure was on in qualifying. I think I was P3, Gary was P2. So he was ahead, which was not the ideal situation. But I was there. I was ready to fight, and I was in the game. And then luckily, which was also a big strength of myself, is reaction time and starts. So after pulling off in Le Mans a previous weekend from P5 to P1, I pulled another good start off and went straight into the lead.
The lights are about to go out, and it will be blast off time into that difficult first corner. And Timo Scheider makes a magnificent start, and Timo Scheider goes down the inside, timed it to perfection. And Scheider, well, from the second row of the grid, absolutely phenomenal effort.
and brought it home in the end, in the best and easiest way. That there was no discussion or no chance actually to take this championship away from myself. So, and you can imagine after a little bit more than 1 hour of racing, when you cross the line, and then in Hockenheim they had this huge firework coming up.
And he heads towards the checkered flag. The fireworks go off. And Timo Scheider is the race winner. He is the 2008 DTM champion.
This moment was the biggest relief and emotional situation I've ever experienced. And then I can imagine 180,000 people going mad, and goosebumps, tears, radio calls in my outlap or in the lap into the pits. That was outstanding, and this of course changed my entire life as a race driver. From that moment on, contracts changed. The time of the contracts I've signed changed from a 1 year or 2 year contract to a 5 year contract. Salary increased like big time. Suddenly possibilities came up which I've never thought about, and yeah, luckily I was there and made it happen at the right time, at the right moment.